Hello Capricorn, welcome to your November reading. I will be selecting cards from the Illuminati Tarot deck for the general energy of the 4 weeks of November. And then I will select a focus card for advice on what to focus on for the month ahead from the Lover's Path Tarot deck. And then lastly, I will pull a self-care message card for you to sort of cap off your reading. Okay, so as I shuffle here, I'm going to be focusing on the sign of Capricorn. I'm going to be focusing on the mountain goat, sea goat, and I'm going to be focusing on the constellation of Capricorn. So as I sort of tap into this energy, I ask to be shown the energy for November. Capricorn, show me energy for Capricorn. Goodness, sometimes we do have flyers or jumpers that come through, but I choose to select them. Sometimes I'll take them. So let's see. Okay. Also, I'm not choosing to read reversals on this particular deck or this month. Personal preference. Okay, so the first week, Capricorn, we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so I see a lot of organization. I see a lot of, this is a card of really like compacting and consolidating, condensing. Okay, so you may be downsizing in some way. I see you not necessarily in a move, but I do see you sort of like organizing your things so that they're more compact. I see like there's a general feel that I get of this card is like organization for you. Then we have the Justice card. Okay, so the Justice card is about contracts, paperwork, things that have to do with an official sort of nature. Okay. Not really getting any clear message coming through too strongly. I do see you sort of organizing some sort of paperwork that's important in November. This is kind of a taking care of the details sort of reading so far. Okay, then the Five of Swords. Okay. Capricorn, for the third week of November, I'm seeing some sort of disagreement or dispute of some sort over some sort of legal paperwork. Okay, there could be some sort of argument that or a problem that somebody has with your procedure or your choice or your a way of approaching this. This isn't the most pleasant energy when working with other people. For me, when I look at this card, it's like sort of relying on yourself to sort of get the job done. And I really feel like you can make some real progress in doing things on your own. Here I see like other people just sort of tripping you up in some way. This is a card of like hurt feelings, and I don't specifically know what the specific instance is for you. In particular, it's going to apply to a lot of different Capricorns in a lot of different ways. But the Five of Swords is normally about like rejecting someone or, you know, not deciding to continue like communicating. It's sort of an aggressive energy. It's sort of like a right fighting. You're fighting for your right in some way that you feel like you're entitled to something. It's very interesting. Okay, So I do see some sort of like, you're not seeing eye to eye with someone. This is probably the person here, the King of Wands. Okay, so this is again like a business, like an entrepreneur or someone who's about their business. It's definitely like very self-reliant sort of energy. And I do see like there's just sort of a clash here when working with this person. Again, it's gonna sort of vary from person to person. I kind of feel like you have the two minor cards, which is a 4 and a 5. So you're sort of halfway through figuring out this situation, and you're sort of having to be fair and balanced. And I feel like you're in sort of this position where you're trying to kind of keep things objective and fair and balanced, but other people aren't really cooperating with you. It's because they have sort of a strong will or personality here to sort of want things their way, and you're trying to sort of accommodate this other person, but also try to have things sort of be fair between you two. The general sense that I'm getting is like needing to see other people's perspective. So, I really feel like in this sense, you're not really willing to negotiate, okay? Or bend in any sort of way for others. And you might just let someone have it in the third week. You're like, no, absolutely not. Like piss off sort of energy. I'm sorry, that's a little bit crude, but here's the energy that I'm getting is the Hanged Man reverse. So sort of needing to be patient with difficult energies or difficult people who want to sort of take control of the situation and what works only well for them or what works best for only them. You're sort of having to sort of like see things from the other angle and not make any rash decisions. I feel like you're generally a pretty patient sign anyway. You're an earth sign. They tend to move at their own pace. And I see you don't needing to like make a decision in the month of November. Whatever this has to do with, it's kind of like you're just sort of waiting to see how things play out. A lot of the time, if you give people enough rope, they will hang themselves. Okay, so I guess what that means is like people will trip themselves up in this situation. And I don't see you needing to really engage in that drama. I just feel like you don't generally engage in drama anyway. But let's see what the advice card is, and maybe it can kind of shed some more light on this circumstance for you, Capricorn. And I'm sure you're going to know how this applies to you. So let's see the advice card. Advice for Capricorn. Okay. 2 of Coins. Okay. So again, there's just sort of like this balancing act that you're having to make between you and another person. I do feel like it has to do with money or some sort of, you know, how you make your money. It could be in your work, and maybe this is the boss or something, or a business partner that's being sort of bossy or difficult, and you're sort of trying to maintain an equilibrium here on like what's fair between the two of you. There's one interesting that one heart is colored and the other is not, so it's like really needing to listen to your heart and follow your heart on this matter. I see you sort of juggling and being rational as well. Like the expression on his face, he's not very emotional on his face, so he's just playing the observer and seeing how these two energies play out, these two very opposite energies, these two very different personalities. One is very grounded and practical and likes to take his time. The other is very impulsive and rash and is kind of wants things now and wants immediate results, and you're sort of willing to be patient and let things play out. Again, sort of being patient. And this is a card of being the observer, right? So stepping out of the situation, letting other people sort of make their own mistakes, and it's like you haven't done anything, you haven't acted in any way that you're gonna like be blamed for it. You're not gonna have to take the responsibility if you don't take the action. And I do see that is sort of having to sort of weigh the pros and cons of this situation. That's sort of the advice card for you. So let's see, Capricorn, what energy needs to come forward for you to best take care of yourself. Self-care oracle message for you. Silence. I love it. So this kind of goes along with like letting other people trip themselves up by saying things that they're gonna regret. This person, whoever this person is like not, they're not listening to themselves, okay? And it's kind of like, yeah, they're tripping themselves up with their words. Silence is good self-care, okay? Rest your mind. Be the observer. Take some time out, kind of step back from a situation where you're sort of having to sort of play the mediator or sort of negotiate or balance, okay? And it's also, I feel like a lot of you are just going to need some quiet time, you know? And I feel like then a lot of the answers that you need will come in the silence, okay? Now is not really a time to take action. Now is a time to pull back. A lot of you might need actual, like, literal rest. You might be a little bit worn out from, you know, all of the demands of life, just the demands of daily life. So that would be good self-care for you, Capricorn. Okay, so I feel like, yeah, this is the message that I have for you for the month of November. If you have any questions or comments about your reading for this month, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to address those for you. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please consider doing so that you can get more forecasts and horoscope readings. Thank you so much for watching.